Right. Hello and welcome to a session of Fit Essentials. Another Friday here today. A little windy, so we're just going to bring it inside to prevent all the windstorms of the last couple of days and losing the computer if you were here with us earlier this week. All right, we're going to do our breathing and then a quick stretch, and we're going to get right into our first circuit. So go ahead and breathe in, bring those arms up and around. We're going to tuck down on that exhale, pulling the hips under, bowing the head down. And now we're going to lift and open, breathing in. Squeeze the glutes, turn the head to the sky, pause the top of that breath, and then when you're ready, exhale, curl it all back down. Go ahead and just take your time here, taking it through about 3 to 5 cycles. Breathe and open. Let's go 2 more. Very good. 1 more. Then we're going to make our way down to the floor, lifting the chest, and nice gentle exhale. Get as much air as you can comfortably get out of your lungs this last exhale. Fantastic. All right, go ahead and kind of make your way down to the floor, reaching down for the ground, kind of inchworm your way down. We're going to stretch out our forearms to start. Got some work on the wrist and palms today, so let's get those wrists warmed up. Palms down, fingers in, gently leaning back and rocking side to side. Very good. From there, I'll go ahead and come off the hands for a second. Just shake them out. And then you can make little circles with the wrist. About 5 rotations one way, about 5 the other. Very good. From here, we're going to go one more time down. This time, fingers interlace, so turn them in towards one another, and now circle your body around. 3 to 5 or so one way, and then taking it back the other direction. All right, very good. So a couple stretches here just to get prepped for our first circuit. We're gonna go into child's position first. Toes together, knees divide, reach those arms out, drop the hips back, lower the head down. And we'll take about 3 to 5 breaths here, sending the air into that area of tension. Breathe in, expand. Exhale, drop just a hair lower to the floor. Once again. One final one. And release. All right, fantastic. We're gonna go 3 rounds of this first circuit. So we'll use the first one to kind of introduce each movement. We're gonna start on our stomachs, feet together, lying face down, and you're gonna go palms up. So it's gonna be our lion flies. Sometimes you see it called Cobra. Pulling the chin in. When you're ready, you're gonna lift your upper body, or you can also lift the legs off the ground. You're gonna squeeze, you're pushing up towards the sky. You just want to hold this position for about 5 seconds or more, and then come down and relax. And just take a moment on the floor, and then breathe in, lift and squeeze, lengthening from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Make sure you breathe as you hold. And then you determine how far or how long you want to hold, taking it down anytime you need a break. Very good. Get about 20 seconds left. Coming back up. And I'm really making a point here to pull those shoulders down the spine, down the rib cage, as I drive my palms up, like I'm trying to push the air up towards the ceiling. Lengthening from head to toe. And 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Fantastic. From here, if you have some lighter dumbbells around, or you could do your first round without, but we're going to be doing either a Renegade Row or a plank row. So if you do have some dumbbells around and want to grab them, you don't want to use the dumbbells, just make a nice wide handprint on the floor, and you're going to be alternating arms. All right, for this plank or Renegade Row, if you're on the toes, set the feet just outside the hips, and 2, 1, when you're ready. Elbow nice and high, controlling down, alternating arms. Good practice, kind of pause at the top, down and switch. Nice and strong through that midline. We're going 45 seconds for each of these midline movements. Very good. Shoulder down the spine. That's 30 seconds, 15 to go. Fantastic. Staying focused here. Maybe one more or so on each arm. Then we're going to take it down to the floor, onto our backs next. 2, 1, and go ahead and rotate. Very nice. So we're going to take it down to the floor. You have a choice here. You can either do a regular glute bridge or join me for more of a tabletop plank. So with the tabletop, I'm going to set my hands behind me, okay? Pulling the shoulders back, feet pointing straight ahead, and then when you're ready, you lift up, pull the chin in towards the chest, and then lower down. And up to you whether you want to kind of keep the head neutral. If you want to extend the neck just a little bit, if that feels good, kind of feel where it is best for your body. Lifting through the chest and shoulders, opening the hips. Very nice. Breathing here. Fantastic. 15 more seconds. Sometimes this is a little bit too demanding on somebody's wrist. So if that's the case, it's where I would lie on my back and just sub a glute bridge instead of a tabletop. Good. Let's go one more. Up and squeeze, lengthening, opening that chest, and down and relaxed. Fantastic. Whew, shake out those hands. We're going to make our way back over to all fours. And now we're going to go in our down dog, knee to elbow. We're going to go same knee to the same side elbow. So really spread the fingers nice and wide. Turn the toes under, drive those hips up. So we push back, opening the mid back into down dog, and then you rock forward. Think about hollowing your body. So staying lifted up, pushing back, alternating arms. So I breathe in as I push back, exhale as I come forward. Very nice. And great practice here. Instead of rushing the movement, kind of bring it forward. Pause for a moment with that knee to the elbow, and then taking it into that next rep. Looks great. Good. 30 seconds in, 15 to go. Good mobility as well as good midline strength here. So a little bit of both. Last one. And rest. Very good. That's set one. Go ahead and shake out those wrists, and then we're going to lie back down on our stomachs. We're going to do that twice more, starting with those lying flies. So palms up, arms to the side, 2, 1. When you're ready, lift and lengthen. Pushing up, activating the backside of that body. Coming down anytime you need. Short rest on the ground, then coming back up. Right back into it. Squeeze, hold, and rest. So give it a lot of focus, obviously pushing up through the arms, but also squeeze the glutes. If you are lifting the legs up the ground, point the toes. Keep pulling those shoulders down the spine. Fantastic. About another 10 seconds or so, maybe 1 or 2 more reps. Pulling that chin in. Staying strong. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and just take a moment before we jump into that Renegade Row. Drop back for a moment. A little bit of an abbreviated child's position. Just loosen up that low back. Fantastic. And then when you're ready, we'll start to come back forward. And you go back to Renegade Row for round 2. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Once again, feet just slightly wider. Looks great there. Try to have that weight go down quietly to the floor. So I pull it up nice and strong, maybe pause at the top, and then place it down nice and light, having control through that full movement. Awesome. Breathing throughout. Looks great. 30 seconds in, 15 to go. Fantastic. Maybe one more on each side. Up and hold, down and rest, and 2, 1, and rotate. All right, on your backs, either that tabletop, or I'm gonna give them the wrist a break this round. I'm gonna do a glute bridge this round. I'll go back to tabletop on round 3. Set those shoulders back and down, and whenever you're ready, up and forward. Chin pulls in if you're on the floor, or you can stick with that tabletop like we did in round 1. Whichever version you're doing, we're opening those hips, fire in the backside. Squeeze the bum. Very nice. And similar to those other movements, you can either just come up and down, you can hold at the top, go in a little bit of a elongated bridge, then down and relax. About 10 seconds left. 1 to 2 more. Squeeze. Fantastic. In 3, 2, 1, rest and rotate. Rolling it back over, down dog, knee to elbow. Splay those fingers nice and wide. Grip them down. 2, 1. When you're ready, push it back into down dog. I'm going to stick with that same side elbow. On round 3, I'm going to take it across the body to the opposite elbow. Breathing in as I push back. Exhaling as I come forward. Lifting up through that mid body, holding nice and solid in that plank. Moving well. Pushing back, lifting up, not letting yourself drop into those shoulders. Let's get about 1 more on each side. Fantastic. This is the end of set 2. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. All right, shake it out. Shake out those wrists, shake out the arms. 10 seconds, and we'll be back for set 3 with our lion flies, cobras on our stomachs. All right, holding strong here. Palms up, chin in, and 2, 1. Here we go. Lift and squeeze. Get ready to fly off that mat. Just take it height. Down and relax. Very nice. Coming down, ideally before you get any kind of a pinching sensation in the low back. If you feel like your glutes are kind of losing that power, not holding that strong of a position, come down and then come back in when you're ready. Always try to lengthen the body, activate the backside. Very good. Let's go 1 or 2 more. Up and hold. Squeeze everything tight. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Renegade Rose. Weights into position if you're using them. Set those feet. And 2, 1, when you're ready. So once you know that movement, bring that head neutral so you're looking straight down between the wrist. Instead of pulling that weight like straight up to my shoulder, I think down the spine. So I set that shoulder blade back. I pull it just a little bit lower on the shoulder or on the torso. There you go. Very nice. Good hand position there. Those weights that aren't quite sturdy to hold on to. Awesome. Let's get about 1 more on each side. Up and hold. Down and switch. Second side. And rest when you're ready. Fantastic. 2 exercises left in this first circuit. Either that tabletop or the glute bridge. So your choice. Either lie on your back or sit nice and tall. 2, 1, when you're ready. Driving them up and forward. Down and relax. Very good. And those of you that are in that glute bridge position, if anybody wants to do that bridge pose, you can interlace the hands underneath your body and focus on holding that bridge for that extended period of time. Got about 20 seconds left in this series. Good job. Very nice. Pulling that chin in, those of you doing the glute bridge, lengthening the back of the neck at the same time. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Everybody rest. Roll it over. Final one. Down dog, knee to elbow. A lot of work on the hands today. Getting ready for break off the hands this weekend. Nice wide handprint. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, breathing in as you push back. Exhale as you bring it forward. Now you can go knee towards that opposite elbow. So getting that nice open position as you drive back. Getting a little opening for that mid back. I'm also kind of focused on my heels, allowing like both heels together to start to drop down towards the floor. Feel a little stretch in the back of the calves as I push back. Fantastic. 15 seconds to go. Get one more on each side. Bring it across. Back. And all done. When you're ready, we're going to go right into some stretches here. Let's take your left leg, extending it back, and then we're going to swing it forward into pigeon. Square the hips and shoulders. Shoulders back and down, chest nice and tall. If you'd like to drop a little bit lower here, you can come down to the forearms. Lower the head down. Bring that outer hip to open. We're going to be doing some suitcase deadlift next, which means we're going to be using one weight with the weight on one side of the body. So we'll open up those hips a little bit. If you want to go into that ultimate stretch, you'll take your right hand, look to grab the right foot. We'll go about another 15 seconds here. Very nice. Just nice and gentle with that stretch. And 2, 1, go ahead and release that back foot. You're going to go ahead and sit onto your right hip and swing that back leg around for seated twist. Sitting tall and hug it in. Very good. If you want to go deeper into that twist, you can take your right hand, walk it around, turn the head in that direction. You can work that elbow around. Couple more breaths here. And release when you're ready. Good job. Gradually make your way out. You should be hugging that right leg in. We're going to make our way back into down dog, and we'll take the right leg forward this time. So let's not rush this down dog position, but take a moment, really walk out those heels, get a nice stretch for the calves. Dropping one heel down, holding it for a moment, and then same thing on the other side. Once you've lengthened out those calves, when you're ready, we'll take the right leg, extend it up and back, squeezing the glute, and then swing that right leg forward, squaring the hips and shoulders best you can. There you go. Spend about 45 seconds here. First 15 seconds or so, nice and tall. Gently inviting that hip to open. From there, if you want to drop a little bit lower, sinking down. Nice and gradual. And then if you'd like, final 15 seconds, you can reach around, left hand grabs the left foot. Lengthen out that quad. Very nice. Another 10 seconds here. And 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. Before we hop up to our feet, let's just spin onto your back for just a moment. We're gonna do a little 2-knee twist here. Loosen up that low back before we jump into the weightlifting today. So knees up at 90 degrees. Oh, thank you. I messed that up. So we did the down dog, we did the pigeon. So I had right leg forward. So we're gonna swing the left leg around for a seated twist. Thank you. Got ahead of myself. guys help over that? I'm not alone on these films. Sitting nice and tall. Feel free to walk that left hand around, looking around the shoulder a little bit deeper. Let's go about 2 to 3 more breaths. So we got a seated twist for the low back. And then when you're ready to come out of that, now we can take it onto the back and just add a little bit more twisting as you choose. Either double knee to chest if you're feeling a little bit sensitive, or both legs to one side, looking over the other shoulder. And then up and across, same thing, other side. Very nice. One more time. All right, fantastic. Go ahead and even yourself out on both sides. Then when you're ready, go ahead and roll on over. Come on up. Let's grab some water, and then we'll get ready for our first round of this next series. All right, depending upon your experience with Suitcase Deadlift, you can have a kettlebell or a dumbbell. You just need one. We're going to go a total of 4 rounds here. So you just can start nice and light. You're simply going to have it on one side of the body. So I'm standing tall. I'm bowing forward, bringing it straight down next to the ankle. So I'm setting my hips back, staying straight up and down. With the weight on one side of the body, there's a tendency to rotate away. So you're just making a point. You can almost think about pushing your hips towards that side, but only to have that focus to keep yourself neutral and not to end up in this posture. So straight down, straight up. That will be our first movement. After we go 30 seconds on one side of the body, we'll come down. We'll do a set of push-ups. You can do them on the floor, or you can do them on an elevated surface. Whatever you can do to have a good position. After the push-ups, we come back. Suitcase deadlift on the opposite arm. And then your choice. You can either stay standing, do an overhead press. If you did some overhead presses yesterday, if you're feeling a little stiff in the upper shoulders, then you have the option of some burpees. So with or without the push-up, down and up. Without the push-up, it looks like this. Back and up. Okay. I'll go overhead press rounds 1 and 3 and burpees on rounds 2 and 4 just to kind of vary it up. You can do whatever is best for you. All right. If there are no questions, we'll go ahead and get started here in about 10 seconds. Standing nice and tall, suitcase deadlift. You're going to have your toes pointing straight ahead, the weight on one side of the body. And ready, and 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward, squeeze the glutes and stand. Fantastic. Long spine, sending the hips back. Very nice. Straight up. Chin in, looking down. At the top, looking straight ahead. Wonderful. Over and up. Staying tall. Having just a little bit more control on the down and then smooth the stand. So just intentional as you lower, squeeze the bum, standing straight up. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Down and up. Fantastic. Go ahead and set that down. Push-ups are next. I'm going to show the first round from an elevated surface. Placing the hands under both shoulders. Walking the feet back, midline nice and tight, and here we go. Keeping those elbows relatively close to the sides. You don't want to wing them out wide, so think about keeping them in. I don't know, roughly about a 20 to 30 degree angle away from the torso. We want to really avoid having those hips drop down, so staying tight. We don't want those hips to sink. Lead with the chest. Control and drive. Good, 10 seconds left. Try to go with that full range of motion. So try to lower your chest as far as you're confident to the desk, to the chair, and push. Good job. Walk it in, walk it up. Deadlift on the opposite side. I'm on my left. If you're mirroring me, that's going to be on your right. Set those feet so the toes are straight ahead. And 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward, standing tall. Very good. Chin in, looking down. Squeezing the bum. Straight ahead at the top. Good. So remember, you're working to avoid any kind of counter rotation. Try to have some awareness at the hips, staying as square as possible. Over and up. Good job. 5 seconds. And 2, 1. Rest and rotate. So your choice, either burpees. I'm going to be going overhead press on this round. Same idea on those deadlifts. We're gonna have the feet set so the toes are straight ahead. 2, 1, and here we go. Driving it straight up. Watch not to let the back arch. And depending upon your weights, if you kind of hit a point to where you're like, I've still got 15 seconds left and I can't press it up, see if you can incorporate the lower body. We call it a push press. Dipping back into the heels, pushing the knees wide, and driving straight up from there. Good. And go ahead and rest. Fantastic. We'll take 30 seconds. Make any changes you need for your weights. You can stay at the same weight for the deadlift or switch it up. All right, going in 15. Feel free to grab a drink. This will be round 2 of 4. Toes just underneath the hip, straight ahead, standing tall. And here we go. Breathe into lower. Exhale as you stand. Good. Very rhythmic. 10 seconds left. You're using that upper body to hold that weight close to the body, not letting it swing wide. So I'm setting it down just beside or just in front of the ankle and rest. Fantastic. Push-ups are next. Feel free to stay elevated. That helps you have a better range of motion. Nice wide handprint. 2, 1, here we go. Elbows in, driving out. And our little hybrid model here, if you're like, I'm not quite ready to push off my toes, but doing the push-ups on the knees maybe doesn't feel challenging enough, come down on the toes and then come up on the knees. Again, I come down on the toes, taking the chest all the way to the deck, as able, then up on the knees. Good job. 5 seconds. And rest. Awesome job. Walk it up. Back to your feet. And back to that suitcase deadlift, this time on your right side. Standing tall. 2, 1, and here we go. Bow forward, straight up. Good. Over and up. Good. Those of you here live, if you can turn to the side, you can just give a little bit better feedback on your posture. Nice. There you go. Thank you. Squeeze and lower. Awesome. Looks great. Maybe one more. And rest. All right, you're welcome to stay back with that overhead press. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to go burpees on rounds 2 and 4. So either overhead press or burpees in 2, 1. Here we go. Option of full push-up or that plank version, where you just go to the top of the push-up and step up or hop up from there. Well done. Halfway through, 15 seconds left. Nice work. Maybe one more. And 2, 1. Rest and rotate. All right, that's round 2 down. 2 more to go. We'll take 30 seconds. And as always, you're welcome to dance. Hop around here. We got 15 seconds left in our rest, or just take a full rest. All right. Back to your first side, probably in your left arm. Starting in 5, standing tall, toes straight on. 2, 1, here we go. Fantastic. Strong work. If you start to get tired or start to maybe even are gaining confidence with the movement, just make sure you keep that awareness that you're not shifting your hips away. So pushing them straight back and rest. Beautiful. Push-ups. I'm gonna go back to the elevated surface. Ideally, if you can't get that chest all the way to the deck, I recommend coming to an elevated surface so you can get that full range of motion. 2, 1, and here we go. So looking to bring the chest all the way down and then pushing out from there. Full range, build that strength in the shoulders. Nice. Pulling those shoulder blades back. Fantastic. Very good. I want you to know what you're doing. Looking straight between the hands. Very good. 10 seconds. 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic. Deadlift on your right side. Toes pointing straight ahead. And here we go. Bowing forward. Squeeze and stand. Nice. Very good. Staying nice and tall without arching back. So you don't need to lean back, just straight up and down. Looks great. Maybe one more. And rest. All right. Option this round, burpees or overhead press. I'm going back to that overhead press for set 3. And 2, 1, here we go. Drive up, elbows point forward. Very good. Thinking in front of the ribs down, avoiding that sway back posture. Halfway through, that strict press starts to get tired, start to lose that press, add that dip and drive, still controlling it down, sitting back into the heels, knees push out, and drive up from there. Good. 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right, 3 rounds down already. 30 seconds, and we'll finish it out with a 4th. All right, 10 seconds till we start. Weight on your left side. Toes pointing straight ahead, standing tall. And here we go. Keep everything square. The heavier you get, the harder it is to stay square through the body. Nice. Keep that spine long, sending those hips back. Flat back throughout. Maybe one more. And rest. Awesome. Push-ups, final set. Stay elevated if that helps your range of motion. Otherwise, nice wide handprint. And 2, 1, here we go. Controlling down. Lower body is tight as well. So, we always think about the push-up as that upper body. But you're also using your midline, and you want to engage your legs. Helps to avoid them from dropping down. So I squeeze my bum, kind of squeezing my thighs a bit. Beautiful. 10 seconds. Avoid locking out those elbows. Just pushing through without any kind of hyperextension. And there's our 30. Fantastic. Come on up. Final deadlifts. Your right side. All right, check in with the feet. Set those toes straight on, standing tall, bowing forward, and here we go. Fantastic. Feel that midline working to avoid that counter rotation. 10 seconds left. And 2, 1, rest and rotate. All right, you just stick with that overhead press or joining me for burpees. Whenever you're ready, going through either the no push-up or the full push-up. All right, we got a full 30 seconds from here. Last little bit of blood flow for the day. Finishing out with some upper body focus. Stay strong, stay positive. 15 seconds. Nice work. Coming all the way up to the top. Gotta clap those hands. Maybe one more. And rest. Woo! All right, awesome work. Walk it out. Get some water. All right. So I'm going to take us right into the final piece. We're going to do 2 rounds of 8 to 12 reps, and then we'll do a stretch together. So we're going to start with either a lateral raise or a bent over lateral raise. If you feel okay to do some more bent over positions, okay, that's your choice. 8 to 12, so it should be nice and light. You can even make a fist or hold a light water bottle. All right, otherwise it's not for time, so you pick whether you want to stand tall and do the lateral raise or bend over. Chin in. Again, looking for 8 to 12, so whenever you're ready. Good. Yep. All right, when you finish that lateral raise, we're going to go to a bicep curl. And if you want to do a little bit more overhead work, we'll make it a curl and press. So probably a little bit heavier if you have it than what you did for the lateral raise. On the curl, you keep those elbows into the side, curling up and in, and you can just do this or adding that overhead press. Elbows forward and down. Again, 8 to 12. Pushing tall if you choose. It's all about how much overhead work do you want. Some people hold a lot of tension in their upper necks. So maybe limiting how much overhead work you do is good. You don't want to limit so much that you avoid it because you want to keep that ability through the shoulder. Losing the ability to press overhead smoothly kind of sets people up for frozen shoulders at different points in your life. You really don't want that. So keep the body moving. Move it through those full ranges. All right, maybe one more or so. Fantastic. All right. We did the kickbacks last week for the triceps. You're always welcome to do that, but I'm going to do that overhead version here. So if your weight's a little bit heavier, you can do 2 arms together. I'm going to go a little bit lighter, supporting the elbow with the hand, bending it down, extending it straight up. I'll go 8 to 12 on one arm and then switch. Very good. All right, we're going to call that one at 10 for me. I'll go right into that other side. So you do your reps. Just bending at the elbow and extending at the elbow, using that tricep. A little bit of isolation work here. Building the tricep strength, bicep strength just helps cross over for other movements. Triceps are used a lot in those push-ups. All right, fantastic. So that's that first circuit, except for our mid-back rotations. So then we'll come down, instead of 8 to 12 on each arm, we're gonna go 4 to 6. So I'm gonna go on the palms at first, wide handprint, hand behind the head, close it down, and opening it up. Breathe in to close, exhale as you open. Nice. Follow that elbow with your eyes, peering up. After about 6 or so of those, we'll do the same thing on the other side, placing the hand down, breathing in, exhale to open. Take your time in that open position. We're not worrying about speed here, just open, pause, and then lower. Very good. Before we hop up, you can go a little supinated child's position. I'll go palms up, little fingers together, and then lower back from there, lowering that head down. We'll take about 5 breaths here, and then we'll come back up for the second set to this upper body piece. Fantastic. Alrighty, when you finish with that stretch, we'll be back to either that standing lateral raise or the bent over lateral raise, your choice. This is the final time I'm going to take you through it. If anyone wants to do a third round, obviously you're always welcome. These workouts are just recommendations. So toes straight ahead, either standing tall, holding the head neutral, or bowing forward, chin in, shooting for right about that 8 to 12 mark. Just watch that you're not pushing the head forward as you raise your arms up. Good. On the back and shoulders. Very good. From the lateral raises, we go to the curl option of the overhead press. On the bicep curls, elbows in. You want to practice fully extending the arms to the bottom. So I fully extend the elbows and then I curl in. Good. Whew, a little heavier here. I'm just going to do 2 more. Feel free to continue to add some reps in for yourself. Whew. All right. And then tricep extension, we showed it with that single arm last time. If you have a little bit heavier weight and you want to be a little bit more condensed with your time, you can hold a little heavier weight, straight overhead with 2, bend it down and extend. Otherwise, if your weight is better with a single, just stick with that. Nice. Upward to 12 here, keeping that head neutral. Woo. Very good. All right, no rush on finishing that set. And then our last little piece will be those quadruped thoracic rotations once again. On this second time through, I'll come down to the forearm, hand behind the head here. Breathe in and exhale. Roughly 6 on each side. Switching when you're ready. All right, fantastic. If you're comfortable to stay down here, I'm just going to pull my mat over a little bit. Carpet square. And we're going to take it back into child's position and a little, add the side stretch to it. So I'll walk my hands to one side, reach that arm out, lower down. Take about 3 breaths on each side. When you're ready for that other arm side stretch, walk the hand to the opposite side, reaching out, lowering down here. Very nice. We're going to go from the side stretch to thread the needle with the shoulders. So I'm going to go palm up, and I'm just going to gently slide that arm under, lowering that outside shoulder down to the mat. And we're going to hang out for about 5 breaths here on each side. Keep your hips as square as you can. Try to breathe in the nose And either out the nose or gently out the mouth. Maybe one more breath. Gradually come up out of that. And same thing the other way. Palm up, slide under. 5 breaths here, nice and smooth, bringing that heart rate down. Good job. Take your time there, making your way out. And then we're going to take it onto your back. And if you want to use a yoga block or a pillow, we're going to be doing a little bit of single leg twist with that Pretzel Stretch to finish. So if twisting is a little bit tough on you, then get a pillow or a block to support. Otherwise, we'll lie straight back. Let's start keeping your left leg down on the ground and pulling the right knee towards the right shoulder. We're going to make a point to kind of open these inner thighs here. If you want to get a little bit of movement through that ankle, roll that ankle around as you do it. About 5 rotations one way, and then taking about 5 the other way. Very good. Once you finish there, we'll start by pulling the leg across the body. Kind of pausing when you're pulling it towards the opposite shoulder. Say hello to the glute on that right side first before you go into that single leg twist. Great time to kind of reset the head, pulling the chin in and close the eyes for a couple of breaths. When you're ready, you can allow that right leg to come a little bit farther across the body. Here's where you can use your block, putting it right underneath the knee of that right leg. And then if you have the mobility, you're going to bend your left foot and look to grab the left foot with the right hand. If you're just kind of laughing at me at the idea of that, you could just roll over onto your side and stretch your quad like so. Otherwise, stay in that twist. Let's hold about another 20 seconds here. You shouldn't feel like you're trying to endure this 20 seconds. It should just feel like this gentle opening. So if you're wincing at me and in pain for this stretch, please come out of it. Otherwise, 10 more seconds. Very good. Go ahead and gradually make your way out of that. Let's take a moment in between sides. Go a little double knee to chest, hugging the legs in and rocking yourself side to side. And when you're ready, you're extending your right leg. And now we'll start with the left knee towards that left shoulder, actively pushing the right thigh down, and roll that left ankle around, pointing the toes, lifting them up. Good, about 5 times one direction, and then switching it up. Same thing the other way. Good, from the ankle rolls, inner thigh opener, we'll gradually bring the left knee across, kind of pulling it towards that right shoulder, saying hello to the glute on this left side. You can either hold it in that static hold, or sometimes I like to just ever so gently kind of guide it through, just lifting it up and down. Just looking for any stiffness through that hip joint. If I find a stiff spot, then I'll pause there. And then from there, if I want to use my block, I'll bring it over to my right side, place it underneath that left knee, or just taking that leg across, opening into that spinal twist, and then option of bending your right leg and looking to grab that right foot with the left thigh, or again, just roll onto your side and grab the foot from a sideline quad stretch. But just one way or the other, look to stretch that quad a bit. Good, we're going to spend another 20 seconds here. Square the shoulders best you can. Lengthen through the neck by pulling the chin, and I can feel my head wanting to extend back. So reset the head. Let's close those eyes. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Fantastic. After that final breath, gradually release, making your way out of that twist. All right, and we'll just do a couple finishers on the back here. So getting yourself squared up. Kind of reset that pelvis a little bit, pulling that low back and pelvis in towards the floor. And then if you'd like to go into a little happy baby here, we'll go elbows on the inside of the knees, grabbing those shins or the outer feet, and rock yourself side to side. Very nice. And then just depending upon your mobility, if you want to take this into a little bit of a deeper pose, you could either take it a little bit farther into plow. You'll work your feet up and over your head, pulling that chin in towards the chest. And again, not painful, right? So just meet your body where it is. Maybe you're not quite ready for this. If it feels good to hang out there, then so be it. If that doesn't feel so good, then you could just simply take a pose in what we call our corpse pose, where you lengthen the legs, set those shoulder blades back and down, and then just spend a moment here all flat on your back. We get so caught up in our world of always doing. What's the next thing to do, that we forget the importance of being and just being still. So it's not encouraged a whole lot in our modern society. So we got to be stewards of our own mindfulness, our own health and well-being, and take those moments to pause. Before you switch gears into something else, that's the best way to kind of set yourself up. Take a moment, breathe. Think about how you want to be, how you want to feel. If you find yourself kind of scattered in your head, try to come down and into your body. Feel your breath. Just feel your heart rate beat if you can. And just remember what matters most. All right, everyone, I'm going to just leave you there. Have some peace. Stay hydrated. Stay flexible. And we'll see you next time.